Greetings. If you are by chance someone who's never seen one of my videos, I was born with quadriplegic cerebral palsy, which is a permanent neuromuscular disorder which causes my body to move and react strangely and confines me to a wheelchair. Now that that's out the way, let's talk about the actual subject of this video. In my opinion, one of the reasons that conflict and confusion are so common these days is that people are craving increasingly simple answers to increasingly complicated problems. This is largely because most public discourse today is mediated through social media websites, where the primary metric of concern is not truth or sincerity, but engagement. What this means in practical terms is that the person who says or does the most outrageous thing is going to be the one who gets attention and promotion. This is increasingly unhealthy for us as a species because it gives the false impression that we are surrounded by terrible people at all times and in all places, which, if you look at the world as objectively as you can, you realize simply isn't true. What we have to realize is that what social media is doing to us is that, for example, when we see someone who says something with which we strongly disagree, we don't realize that that person is actually a person. And that's because we're only really engaging with one highly curated aspect of them on a screen. And social media makes it very easy to dehumanize someone because, by definition, you are not seeing them face to face. You're not interacting in person. So it's easy to forget that despite what they've said that you might disagree with, even if, as I say, you strongly disagree with it, it's important to remember that people are still people. And I'm not saying this from the perspective of someone who thinks I'm better than the average person, because I've found myself doing this too. It's also very easy on social media to simply cut off any interactions you don't like. Now, sometimes that is necessary because sometimes interactions can become unhealthy and aggressive with no real way to resolve or settle the dispute. So sometimes it is better to just stop talking to someone. But if we rely on the ability to cut people off too heavily, it turns very quickly into a kind of positive feedback loop where we only engage with things that we want to hear. And that's unhealthy because when you eventually log off of Facebook or Twitter or whichever site you happen to be using and venture out into the real world, you will be faced with circumstances and situations which won't perfectly align with everything you want them to be. And you will still have to deal with and cope with those situations as best you can. So if you spend hours a day on social media only engaging with things that make you feel good or confirm what you already believe, you are actively weakening your own mind and lessening your ability to handle adversity in a healthy way. So I guess the entire point of this video can be summarized in the sentence, go outside and touch grass. Anyway, that's all I've got to say about that, and for now, farewell.